let's look at the fundamental problem. This is going back to teaching and learning. What is the fundamental problem? We are born without essence. When we are born, we don't have essence. We must acquire it. What is essence? It's knowledge. It's culture. It's traditions. We are born without that. So what they did, these guys are clever. Yeah, you know, one thing about these guys is they are very clever. They knew whoever controls acquisition of essence is in charge. You control what I learn, what I understand, my content, then you're in charge. You tell me what is right for me. You determine that for me. You know, this morning I saw something very interesting. America has just approved that meat made in the lab can be sold as a restaurant. So the next question is, whoever controls meat making in the lab is in charge. So we need our identity. It cannot begin by saying I'm a Muslim, my friend. It cannot begin by saying I'm a Christian. It cannot begin by saying I'm a CAA, as the developer said. It must begin that I'm an African. That's where you should start. Then I'll take you seriously. Or never ever talk to me. Okay. So that's the first thing. So where did they do all these things? They went to institutions of learning, homes, communities, church, mosques, synagogues, schools, universities. And they decided what must be said in those places because they are controlling acquisition of essence. There's nothing wrong with religions. There's nothing wrong. It's when it assumes a supremacist agenda. When it makes one race better than the other. When it is used for that purpose, religion is wrong. I have no space for it. Don't come and talk about it to me. You know, my grandfather, I grew up, I was brought up by my grandfather. He went to church for the rest of his life. He died a poor man. Not in terms of money. I feel sorry for him. Okay. So, how did they do this? How did they control this acquisition? Let's look at strategy number one. They eviscerate African essence. The first thing is when they knew that they cannot do anything about that. The word eviscerate means you empty the content. They emptied our content, our African content, completely. Completely. I had a very interesting conversation with Professor Lupon. I wish he was here. Because he introduced himself as Jacob, and I was very disappointed. Said, I have a professor that is leading African studies, that's disappointing. Then we had a talk about it. So, yeah. Two, they turn us into Christians and Muslims. And I'm going to show you that there's nothing wrong with Christianity and Islam. But there's a way we must deal with it. There's a way we must deal with it. It should not advance colonialism. It should not advance white supremacy. It should stand on its own superior logic. Pure and simple, superior logic. If it doesn't have, it must close shop. Simple. So let's come back to where we are at higher learning, which is very painful. Now at higher learning, they teach us pure logic, universal knowledge. 2 + 3 is 5. Then they prepare us for the new liberal economy, the one that is sucking out our resources with very little benefit from us. When are we going to develop critical thinkers who can challenge these things? We need to challenge the new liberal agenda, and it is the responsibility of the university to create those kind of people. I call them social justice pioneers. Yeah. Social justice pioneers. If the students who are here today don't be keen to become social justice pioneers, and I'll come to your meetings, you must invite me if you're serious about this. And we need to talk about this. We need to start saying, this is our resources. It's our sun. We're removing the rock. Remember. The saddest part is somewhere between November and March, December and March, it's winter solstice in Europe. They cannot do anything. I was there. The snow is like this size. They can't go anywhere. That is why they are on holiday in December. That's why they call it Christmas. I have a friend, Professor Olsen. He sends me pictures every Christmas. They can't go out. It's impossible. The snow is this size. Sunny Africa, the hostess time in our time should be working. What do? We're celebrating with them. Captured souls. You know what is worse? We even put on their very hot caps, the Merry Christmas. And this thing is hot. How captured can you be really? How captured can you be really? How do you want me to take you seriously after that? On the 1st of August and the 1st of September, Africans celebrate their New Year. Our own democratic government, Comrades Pitso, can't even send us a message of a Happy New Year. Captured souls. Yeah. A monkey in a suit is still a monkey. It can call itself honorable, the monkey. We need to reclaim ourselves. We need to reclaim ourselves. Where's Sobukwe Day? You know what was the problem with Sobukwe? He wanted our land. He fought for our land. That's all. He's the only, not Mandela, he's the only African who created, who the law was created for him. He was created the law alone because he was going to the cracks of our situation. And you know what is the problem with land? African embodiment is about the land. That's why we draw Ubuntu and all those things. Without land, you can't give people tea, you can't give them food. So we need to start with the land. So when you read the book, the first virtue is temperance, the difference about the land. So one social justice pioneer said to start making a clarion call that we must get our land back. It's our land. Because Sobukwe are not celebrated because they don't fit the Western meta narratives. You said that. They are putting their own people. They would not survive. He's the only leader in Africa who said I'm an African. He would not survive. They would cut him down to size. By the way, I'm giving him a copy of the book next week. I'll be meeting him. To say, we are here, we are your foot soldiers. We are going to fight this. We are Africans and we are not going to apologize about it. There was just one problem when we tried to walk there. It was quite a steep mountain and we were early to give up. But that Umlabo went on. Don't look at me, I was a professional. The most painful strategy is strategy number 5. I want to start with meta-ignorance. And it's not difficult, it's 2 things. It's if you don't know, you don't know. That is a dangerous person. If you don't know, you don't know. I was telling one guy in one place, and he was saying to me, Jordan, have you been to Jordan? It's a very dirty river, you know. Try Val River is better. If you don't know, you don't know. And I've been to Israel, I know the place. And it's really dirty, I must tell you. The river Jordan, how much Jordan? When I was in to go failure. It's better ignorance.
Yeah.
It's being ignorant about your own ignorance. You can't be ignorant of your own ignorance. It's sick. The first wisdom is to know what you don't know. Then you can start the change. You need to know what you don't know. And it's kind of intimidating. Not interested in the girls. What are you saying? What is your content? What is your content? I have one, a very red one from Vet. I wait once, I don't know where it anymore. I don't see what is that for. You know, when I started this and I realized my PhD was worth nothing. Nothing. I was an idiot in a red gown or whatever garment you want to call them. Teachers watching them. And I felt I'm an idiot. Now I was a complete idiot. Yeah? Now I'm getting my PhD. Right. Let's go to the second. I don't want to keep you. The worst one that is driven by universities is called acknowledgement. That's the most painful one, conditioned ignorance. You are conditioned to learn this. This is a verb. This is a noun. Accounting, engineering. What are we learning exactly? I'm going to tell you, there's nothing wrong with that knowledge, but it must build on your African content. No African content, your adult self. You define yourself in terms of others' ideas. I can't take you seriously. Nobody should. You know, when you go to overseas, and I'm going soon, I'm developing ideas that I'm taking back to them. My articles, most of them I'll show you, they are read in America and Europe, because I'm pushing them. It's reverse innovation. They've been giving us a lot of rubbish, now we're taking quality to them, not rubbish, quality. Taking quality to them. Mama Jamil will tell you, there's a new concept of teaching and learning, started here at VUT, Telagogy. We're taking it back to them. I'll be presenting it in London and in Spain now, in July and August. I'm going to make my noise, and I'll be wearing like I'm wearing. I'm an African. They teach you learned helplessness. Hey, try to see being what you. Yo! The original seed. The rock. They make you hold the rock. I'm not born in sin. What is that? What is that? I'm a born an African. I'm very proud of my God. I'm very proud of him. He has made me who I am. I don't fear him. I don't worship him. I honor him by my actions. Actually, I have a nice prayer that I learned when I was in Standard 6. God, please don't help me. I want to do something for you that will make you very proud. Because if you help me, what is the point? What is the point? Do something. Go out, do something. And appreciate the gift that God gave you. The gift to be here. No matter who cares? We are here. Beyonce, I was here. Beyonce, I could show me. They make you learn. But the next thing what is happening in our classrooms, Mimes is copy. You must learn this chapter 1 and chapter 5, and in the exam, same questions from there. You're copying. Where are your ideas?
Yeah.
Where are your ideas? Modimo ha bopa sethoto. God did not create an idiot. He did not. There's a beautiful word, and I know that Englishman didn't know what to say. He just called these people nincompoops. He didn't know what to say. You can't be a nincompoop. You need to leave this place a better place. You must leave something. I'm challenging you. You must leave something. And it's not impossible. Yeah, connect with the right people. And I'm here. I'm about to retire, so I'll have more time for you.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Okay? The last one I love. The last one, sadomasochism is about deriving pain. They said there's this guy who was in extreme pain. And because he was in extreme pain because he could not carry his own cross. And because this guy was in such extreme pain, now this guy will save you. But the evidence on the table says he can't even handle his own cross. It's evidence on the table. Pain.
He was actually helping.
They manage us with pain. Who actually helped him?
An African.
An African. We saved him. Not the other way around. I like the guy. He had very beautiful African Ubuntu things to say. So I talk about his teachings. They supplement what I say. So I have no problem with him. It's the supremacy they want to place. It's taking him to something else. And the churches have a responsibility to correct that because they created this mess. This guy has never, if you read in John, okay, I've done theology, make no mistake. In John, it's very clear to say, I'm not God, there's one higher than me.
Yeah.
He's saying it himself. We need to go back to the scripture and read it correctly. By the way, John was the cleverest of the four. So try to read John and leave this others. You were not so clever. And if you want introduction to theology, come, let's talk. Yeah, so what is happening now? We're also teaching our students. There's a student from Limpopo here who stressed beautifully. When the student leaves here after graduating, she knows nothing about the problems besetting her own community. That's socially empty. What did we teach her for? You know, the worst pain is people coming early from work, from VUT, say, how namabo, there are no lights, it's load shedding, and we have a Department of Electricity. Now that is a problem. It doesn't make sense. In South Africa, you're saying that. Where are the students in electrical engineering? Give us the alternative. Why are you there in the first place? We can't be struggling with load shedding at the university. Then let's close shop. We're building a bunch of nincompoops. You can't. You know what I love today? We'll be eating food from Sisonke. Our own restaurant. That's what I mean. From our own restaurant. Even if it's a mess, it's our mess. We'll pretend to enjoy the food. So a Limpopo student cannot leave university ignorant of challenges facing his own community. You can't leave VUT without knowing the challenges facing your own community. Does it make sense?
No.
We're doing research in Tatemon and Bombali on one of the things that we're discovering that ChatGPT is helping us with is to show that we can create self-healing potholes. Once there is a pothole, it can self-heal. We are investigating that now. So we are serious about these things. It's not impossible. They have created meat in the lab. So 10 years from now, there won't be cows, there won't be sheep. From the lab to the restaurant, to your home. Anything is possible. Right, can you jump there? Next. How do we regain our identity without being long? In red, what do we say? Now, know first thyself. Know yourself first. Who are you? Which ideas inform you? When I talk to you, which ideas are informing you? Am I talking to an African or a coconut? Who am I talking to? I'm listening. You need to master your own culture and traditions. You summon knowledge first within. That's where you start. Then you can supplement, like I said. You can supplement with these other forms of knowledge, but you start first with yourself. If you don't know yourself, don't expect to be taken seriously. You must know your self-worth. What are you capable of? They made us feel inferior. You know, these guys had 900 years of dark ages, the Europeans. They were eating raw meat. We showed them that, no, this thing you can cook, you can fry, you can do all these things. We told them that. And if you don't know, we created Christianity. It's our own. I hit you with evidence. Read the book. It started here. The first university in the world is right in Africa, Morocco, and it's still operational, University of Al Qarim. Right in Africa, we started all these things. So we need to own our narrative. We need to know our story. Now, what is well-being? When do you say you are well as an African? Let's start first with definition of well-being. What is a being? You must be a site of truth. You must fight to know the truth and be truthful. You must be truthful. You must be a site of truth. When you talk, when you discuss, when you disclose your African content, let's know who you are as an African. I like, where's the MC? What happened to the MC? I really want to give you a big hug. You did a splendid job today to show our diversity, our African content. That was brilliant. Who told you to do that? You must have read a bit of the book. Good teacher. So, which truth are you reflecting? This is the post-truth. Everything is planned in such a way that we should be lied to. It's post-truth. They lie to us. So you need to be able to differentiate all these lies and take them out. Right. Without African cognitive content, well-being for an African is an impossibility. It's a war against yourself. Remove the rock. Remove the rock. That opening at left, that is there's not for you. It is meant to capture you. Don't hide behind this rock. Let's finish this. The journey to African virtue is long. Do you see that guy? He has removed the rock. He's moving towards the sun, to his ancestor, to his nyanyati zake, amadlozi akhe, to his own ancestor is going. But it's a long journey to our virtue. Therefore, temperance, first our land. Fortitude, do you have the courage to fight for it? Prudence, can you make sound judgments? Justice, are we fair? Can you meet the demands of fairness? Do you have that courage to meet the demands of being fair? Keep working. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pitso. I don't know what to add into that, but I'm not supposed to anyway. But what I'm saying is, we as youth, what do we do with the knowledge that we've just been given? The knowledge is there, the book is available, we read and we need to implement.